inspiration. Bottom line for me, I want to inspire people with my forms, with my work, to bring them something funny, positive, energetic in their day-by-day life. I had a message like this meeting is being recorded. Yeah. Continue.
Ready, set, go.
Nice. Okay.
So Taher, can you first start off by letting us know how you became an artist, when exactly it was?
I'm so happy to work with you since Emergeast started a few years ago. Actually, I'm not a former artist, I'm a former engineer and finance guy. I was interested in acting for years. At one point, I decided to move to Berlin. I met people from different backgrounds, trying to be more creative, more artist, and that's how I start trusting myself with my process and techniques. Of course, one of the breakthrough is the auction that Emergeast did in Dubai by the time, and when I sold one of my painting. Today, it became much more like a passion. It's a mix of passion and of work. My mother used to tell me that I like destroying toys. Try to break it down and make something different, and that was my hope.
As we know, your work is an ode to the abstract expressionist movement from the 40s and the 50s, developed by American painters such as Mark Rothko, William de Kooning. So how can you describe abstract expressionism in simple terms?
For me, the most important thing is communicate energy and communicate emotion through painting. I use a process that I learned for years in acting. You just prepare your lines and you go to action, and then you let it go. You don't know, maybe you need to cry and you're not gonna cry, you're gonna start laughing. It will be not making sense in the scene, but it will be the emotion of that moment. So for me, it's the same story. So I prepare some ideas, some sketches to make a painting, but once I start making the painting, I try to not put a lot of mind in it, just let it go. The emotion of the day, of the moment, could bring it wherever it could be.
And you said that there's an interactive play between you and your works, like it's a sort of familiar dance between you and a familiar partner. Can you explain that a little bit more?
This comes from the idea of me putting myself as a viewer of the painting in the end. So it's like an invitation to the viewer to work on his imagination, on his creativity, and to make him like actor of my painting outside just the surface.
You're presenting a new body of work on Emergeast, and I wanted to know what are the themes and inspirations that are present in this latest body of work.
During the COVID period, the lockdown, I don't know. I feel like one day I felt like an inspiration. I think maybe it was a lack of connection and rencontre, meeting with other people outside. Much more necessary for me it was to integrate more representative faces, emotional human bodies in my composition. Since I started painting, I always was interested in old civilization and old forms of art coming from Africa, especially African masks and African sculptures. The most important thing is how to be creative, mixing history of art and old art forms and much more recent pop art, street art, cartoons, and abstract expressionism. So yeah, even with cubism with Picasso también, all too. So yeah. So.
También, a little bit of Spanish in there too. And Taher, one thing that we've always loved doing at the office is going through the titles of your painting. They're packed with sarcasm, playfulness, so much humor. How do you come up with these titles? And is it something that you pre-plan, or do you look at the artwork and say, okay, this is what I feel and this is what it's going to be?
A lot of these quotes coming directly from scripts, from movies, actually. So in a way, they have connection with each painting, because maybe doing the painting, I was listening to a particular song, or maybe I just watched the movie. Sometimes it's very personal. I'm describing my own situation, emotional one, or with a girlfriend or whatever, or with a friend. There is always almost a story behind these little words.